Good morning, Damien here at Slotcar. Today I have a whopping heaping huge box of Paul gauge tyres. Now these tyres are made of urethane. They're handmade in Canada. They look beautiful. They're made for all various brands, Scalextric, Ninko, Fly, Carrera, you name it. They make it brands for all different cars. They are a tyre that has a rib section or a groove inside for the rib for all different makes of wheel. So if you've got a Carrera car that have an extremely wide rib across the middle of the wheel, across the hub, there will be a tyre in the range here that will be either made especially for it or will fit it perfectly in most cases. So I want to test some out. What I've chosen to test with is this. This is a Scalextric Ford XB Falcon. It's a car that a lot of people buy. It's very popular. I've never had one. Always wanted an excuse to put one on track. There we go. I'll put one on track. So we'll see what it's like. Apparently they go pretty well. The standard tyres though quite often don't have a lot of grip, and we'll do some testing with this, and then we'll do the same testing with the Paul gauge tyres, and we'll just see what the difference is. First, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a time out of it with the magnets in the car just as it comes out of the box. After that, we'll take the magnets out and we'll see what sort of times we can get from it, then see what it's like to drive. After that, we're going to true those tyres and get them nice and round and see how good they can be when they've had a bit of TLC. And we'll just repeat the process after that with the Paul gauge tyres. So let's just see what it's like. Initial impressions on track. Okay, it seems okay. Doesn't feel really grippy. Doesn't feel like you really climb into it. But it did hang on through those couple of laps, so put the timer on and we'll just see exactly what we can do. 7.95 seconds, and we off there. .63. 7.35. Another off there. 7.35 so far. Here we are with the Paul gauge tyres fitted. Magnets are in. Car's still completely standard. I've simply changed the original tyres to Paul gauge tyres. And as a comparison, let's see what we can do. Oh, the car is a lot quieter, feels a lot smoother. .08 seconds. Oh, big crash there, I wasn't expecting that, but that first time lap was noticeably faster. Do a couple more and see what happens. 730. 7.11. 7.02. 6.92. So, as a direct comparison, the standard car did a 7.35 best lap with the tyres straight out of the box. With the Paul gauge tyres fitted, no truing, no mucking around with anything at all. Again, the car identical apart from the tyres. 6.92 was the lap that we came down to, and plenty close to the 7 odd second mark. So quite a big difference in grip just changing the tyre. A noticeable difference in the noise from the car. It was quieter and it was a lot smoother. and a lot more predictable to drive, which is why I could push a wee bit harder and get a little bit better times. Okay, standard car with standard tyres and the magnets out. Pretty slippy. Okay, 8.8 dead is what we're getting there. Best time, magless, standard tyres. Alright, let's see what we can do with the pull gauge tyres, untrued, magless car. That was 8.5 by the way, that first lap. 8.04. 7.92. 7.84. 7.94. 7.73. This is going to be a good one. 7.58. Already we're seeing the difference. So we really noticed it there with the magnet out. Car still standard, tyres not true, but noticeably quicker. Not just that, the car's smoother on track, it's more predictable, it's much easier handling. With the standard tyres, the car was a bit skitterish. It's sort of, while I could still get a little bit of speed out of it, I felt like I was always sort of on a bit of a knife edge, whether it was going to stay on track or fly off the table. I felt a lot more secure and confident to give it more throttle instantly as soon as I had these tyres on. Within a half a lap you can tell that the grip's there and give it a bit more. So let's true some tyres up now and see how much better we can make them. 8.35 is the best time I've had with a car like this. Certainly a lot more enjoyable to drive than it was. So we'll try out the pull gauge tyres now. I'm just doing it this way without using the machine. I'm just doing it on the track this simple way, for the reason that because I haven't glued these for this experiment, otherwise it'd make it hard to change tyres, because I haven't glued them on, it's not worth using the machine. So I'll glue them later when I decide which tyres to keep on the car. So let's get these ones nice and round. Just looking at them as I do this, the areas that I've sanded and the areas that I haven't, you can see the areas I haven't are still glossy, but there's very, very few parts like that. They were already sitting very, very true on the rims, which is some amazing really. It just goes to show how well made they are. Okay, let's see what we've got. No magnets in the car. Full gauge tyres that have had a very light sand. Just trued very gently. We've got a crash, that's what we've got. Let's say that one was my fault. I think I was talking instead of concentrating. So, what's the verdict? I've got my clipboard here with all the times. Here's my Scalextric XP Falcon that we used for this experiment. So with the standard tyres, just as the car came out of the box, magnets, and we had a best lap of 7.35 seconds, just as it was. When I simply flicked the tyres off and put full gauge tyres on in place, the best lap was 6.92. So we've gained quite a big chunk of time just by changing from the standard tyre. Without the magnets, the times were standard 8.80 versus 7.58 for the pull gauge tyres. So big noticeable difference there with the magnets out. not only in times, but the car was just far more drivable and you didn't feel like it could fly off at any second. So big difference. Once we gave the tyres a little bit of a sand, and again not a big sand, just a wee bit on the sandpaper, not using the machine and not gluing the tyres, we got to 8.35 with the Scalextric tyres and 7.36 with the pull gauge tyres. So that's 1/100th of a second different when you've got the pull gauge tyres on and no magnets to the Scalextric standard tyres with the magnets. So that's awesome. You know, to get down to the same time is you know, blows me away a little bit. It's a pretty good result. So if you want pull gauge tyres to try on your car, we've got plenty, and give them a go. I think you'll find them well worth it. Thanks for watching.